Welcome to Coffee and Conversations. This is our very first episode. We have one cup, one topic, two people, and one real conversation. So we're with Brooke today. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I'm Brooke. I'm born and raised Houston, Texas. Met this lovely lady on TikTok. I love the fact that she is doing the coffee and conversations. I want to be a part of the conversation. I want to talk to you guys. So I'm really excited to be here. Today is my birthday. So
Happy birthday.
thank you. Thank you.
Drinks to that. All right. So I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to have you pick a topic. I put 10
Okay.
topics in here. I don't know what you're going to pick. You
I'm
don't know what you're
excited.
going to pick.
Okay, let's do
All right,
it.
let's see it. I'm going to have you read it.
Okay, cool. Your friend asks whether you like their new partner or not. You don't. They look genuinely happy. What do you say?
Ooh, what was your first thought when you read that one?
Well, my first thought was, haha, because if I have a friend and they have a new partner, I'm genuinely happy for them to have that partner. It just depends on why I don't like their partner.
So, like, okay, let's say this is your best friend, right? And let's say that you see things about their partner that they're unaware of, and they seem happy, seems to be treated right or whatnot. But those things could, because you know your friend,
Right.
could affect your friend. Like, how do you respond to that? How do you handle the situation?
Honestly, I'm very blunt. I'm gonna tell my friend.
How do you think that?
I am going to tell my friend, if number one, if she's my best friend or he's my best friend, they know who I am. They're my best friend for a reason. So they know that I'm very honest and blunt about how I feel, but I'm respectful. So that means that I could share space for you in what you want to go through, but I could also give you that, hey, I don't think that this person is right for you because X, Y, and Z. And if you choose to overlook that, or if you choose to say, hey, well, I'm just into the feelings, I understand feelings as well. So that means that you have to go on a journey and God is going to guide you through that. I'm going to be there for you. But other than that, I'm not going to treat you any differently or your partner differently. I'm going to respect them as well. So if you were to say, hey, I feel that you are this way and this person is this way, and I can see this clashing, then you have a point of why you don't like them. But if you just say, I don't know, something about them, I don't like them.
Yeah, and I think that I hold my friends to a standard, right? So if you're my friend, you should tell me if I'm wrong. I don't want anyone to just agree with me just because it's what you think I want to hear, because that wouldn't be a friend to me. So a real friend's gonna hold you down. A real friend's gonna hold you accountable. So I think for me, in this situation, I would expect that my friend would come to me and would say something. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to make my decisions
Absolutely.
solely based off what my friend says. However, I'm definitely going to take into consideration how my friend feels, because maybe they can see something that I can't see.
That
You
part.
know? So I can definitely agree with you like on that. I also want to touch on, you said that it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Absolutely.
I live by that. Like, I absolutely live by that, because at the end of the day, if I come to you and I'm like, I don't like him,
Right.
or I don't like her,
Right.
you're gonna be like, oh, okay,
What for it?
wow, what's
Yeah,
wrong?
you know.
Like, but if I came to you and said, hey, I noticed this, and this,
Uh-huh.
and I understand you enjoying your relationship, but I just want you to keep this in mind.
Absolutely. I think that that would be better, especially for somebody like me. If you are telling me something, because then I feel like you're judging me, or you're just like, you're picking right now. And then I'll start to look at like, okay, well, are you jealous? Not the fact of jealous of the other person, but maybe because my intention is off of you, just certain things. So I would like somebody to kind of like verbalize what they're saying and how they feel and what they mean, than just saying, oh, just a random, like, I don't like
Yeah.
this person.
Yeah. Have you had friends like that have told you?
Absolutely. But like I stated before, if you're my friend, you know how to be my friend. Because even I don't let people in the door. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to know how to be around somebody like me before you say, well, hey, I want you to be my friend too.
Yeah.
So yeah, my friends are okay, but I don't really. I'm very private.
Yeah.
So nobody would know.
Yeah, because what you're doing is what you're doing.
Yeah, and then of course, if it makes it to the friend, like, hey, this is the person, then I've done all the research, so you're okay.
So let me ask you this, all right? In a scenario like this, right? Have you ever been in a scenario like that where you're the one that has to address your friend about their relationship?
Absolutely. I had a best friend. Her name won't say her name, but I had a friend. She was a beautiful person, right? She was in love, madly in love with her boyfriend. But I think her boyfriend was attracted to other females, and he was young at the time, so he didn't know how to kind of separate. Well, I wouldn't say separate, but I would say he was young. He wasn't ready for a committed relationship with her
Yeah.
at the time, and he was very dishonest. So with me being her friend, I was young at the time, so I was a little more blunt than I am now.
Yeah.
So I would say it while he was there,
In his face.
in his face,
Yeah.
and she would know. Hey, I don't like him. I think he's this or
Uh-huh.
that and this or that. And even though I felt like I was being a real friend to her, I was not. I was being very disrespectful. And I was getting in the way of their relationship for real. And I was
Yeah.
disrespecting him in his face. So I think I've learned a lot. And even after that happened, she decided to be with him, marry him, have babies. They're not together no more, thank God. But
How did that affect your friendship? And did she address it? Like, did it put like a damper on the friendship
No.
because you were being disrespectful?
no, she just told me like, hey, I know how you are, but chill out.
And did that make you mad that she was telling you to chill?
Absolutely not. I
Okay.
chilled out because I am like
Yeah.
a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I go to bat for my friends or
Right.
anybody. Like I want to
Supposed
like,
to.
yeah. So by her telling me that, I was just like, okay, well, as long as you know I don't like him, as long as he knows I don't like him, I don't want to be fake.
Yeah.
But now in my big age,
Yeah.
I would never. Hey, how you doing?
So you think like you're making different choices and different responses. Like as you look back, you're like, oh, I could have did that a little bit differently.
Absolutely. Who am I to disrespect somebody like that, regardless of
Yeah.
what I think? That's not my relationship. He's not
Right.
with me.
That's
Who
true.
am I to do that? And then also, I didn't respect her. I didn't respect him. I didn't respect nobody but myself and how I felt. So yeah, that was really wrong for me to come at them like that.
So were you in a relationship at the time when you were?
I was very single during the time,
Oh,
but
see?
that
See?
had nothing to do with it, I feel.
Okay.
Because I'm a loner. I was always a loner. So she wanted me. She wanted me around. You know what I'm saying? And of course, okay, you're my friend, I'll be around. But she wanted me around. I just noticed that she was a good person and everybody took advantage of her.
So it was more of a concern because you didn't want her to get hurt.
No, she's been with multiple guys before. I've never said anything. But she was really in love with him. Marriage. She married this guy.
And
it didn't work
so
out.
you were right.
It doesn't matter.
But she had to learn that and she had to take
That's
her own path
experience.
herself
Absolutely.
because
And
of
she
that
has
experience.
beautiful kids from
See?
that marriage.
I always say that sometimes you get a blessing out of something that may not have been for you because I have a belief that sometimes you go through seasons in your life where maybe that season is for you, but it's not your forever.
Don't find your blessing
Yeah.
in your experience. And that's why I think that people should really talk to psychics about love, because if they are to tell you something, then it's a possibility that you may try to change it.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to change is something you need to go through. Because maybe at your age next year or the year before, that's the experience.
You know what? You hit the nail on the head with that one because my best friend, so me and my best friend, we've been best friends 30 years, like it's over 30 years at this point. We were 8 years old and became friends. She asked me the other day, like knowing my life and knowing what I've been through in my childhood, knowing what I've experienced as an adult, she asked me would I change anything. It's like, if you had the opportunity, would you change anything? And I was like, absolutely not. And she was like, you wouldn't? I was like, no, I wouldn't change anything because everything that I've gone through has made me the person that I am today and it's gotten
Yeah.
me to the point that I am in my life. And if I were to go back and I would have changed something, I may not be in the
Be
same
this-
scenario. I may
yes.
not be this person. I may not have had the experiences that I've had to get me to the point that I'm at, to be on the path that I'm supposed to be on.
Absolutely.
I don't want to change nothing.
I would definitely change. I would change something quick.
What would you
Quick.
change?
Just little things, little choices and decisions that I made for being just just want it now. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that I would definitely change.
If you had to pick one thing, just that one thing that you would say, this is that thing. If I only had one option, what would it be?
I would say old love, an old love. And if I had a choice, I would not make that choice to proceed with that. I had a choice of like, you want to go with this or don't? And I went with it. And I feel like if I didn't go with that, I would be a little bit better. I still be, me, but I would have been in a better position, you know.
Okay, now I gotta pick your brain though, because I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna give you some food for thought, right? So let's say you were to go back and you were to make that decision to not pick that route, right? Who's to say that you wouldn't have picked another route that would have been more detrimental?
I think so. I think if it, because it wasn't just a person, it was just me personally, and I wasn't guided enough. And I feel like if I feel like I wasn't with that person, credit would be good, or I would just be better off like financially. But I think it's all within me.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like if you've gone through something and you learned something from it, right? So you say, I could be in a better position financially, my credit could be better, this could be this, and that could be that. But let's just say if life would have been different to you and handed you everything, right? And you didn't have any care in the world and then you lost it all, you wouldn't have the same experience you have today, because now that you have gone through that, like financially, you're not where you want to be. You're looking at life a lot different now, because I feel like when you've experienced a loss or you've experienced something that you know, hey, I wouldn't want this to happen. Now, when you get it back, you're going to treat it differently because you have a different value. And had it
Absolutely.
just been handed to you and like all those decisions would have taken you back somewhere else, you may not have the same respect or the value. You understand what I'm saying?
It's possible.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It is definitely possible. Who's to say? Because when it comes down to finances or how you feel about credit and stuff like that, I think I would have learned the lesson, because I've had some failed relationships after that one. So, but that particular one had an effect on financial now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that was deep.
Yeah.
But of course, other ones have taught me how to be the person I am and accept my situation.
And you accept it and be okay with it, or you don't accept. So like for me, you can stay where you are.
Right.
And you could just say, okay, this happened. Oh well, or you could let it make you better, or you could let it
Keep
make
it-
it bitter.
Yeah, that part.
I choose better.
I'm gonna keep going.
You got to.
I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
going,
I
because
feel
what's
like-
the point?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But when you do look back, it's like, where did this start?
Yeah, or where did it go?
Where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
That-
Sometimes, like I told you before we started recording, I have like a different perspective. So sometimes it's not where it went wrong. So
Oh,
to
it's
tell
where
you-
it went wrong with me.
I'm gonna tell you this, because sometimes we don't give ourselves like enough credit, or we don't
Okay.
put our minds in the place, because like a lot of decisions that we make aren't based on us making the wrong decisions. They're based on us making uninformed decisions, because nobody had the chance to teach us. You know,
Absolutely.
a lot of times we look back at our parents and then our parents' parents. A lot of things were not discussed in our households.
Never.
We were not taught about financial literacy. We're not given the opportunity to learn about
You're
credit
right.
in general. That we weren't allowed to ask questions a lot of the times, because it's a do as I say and not as I do.
That part.
And don't question me.
That part.
Now, so when I say we have to give ourselves a little bit of grace, is because we may have made different decisions had we been educated and informed to make better decisions. We're only making decisions based off emotions versus based off
Absolutely.
knowledge. So we
Absolutely.
can't necessarily beat ourselves up for not. So knowledge is power, and when you don't know, sometimes you don't do better. But when you can make better decisions. Now, if you beat yourself up and you knew, that's okay, because you knew
Yeah.
better. Now, as you move in life and
Do
you
better.
learn, you do better. And I think that's the difference. Like that's the shift.
Yeah,
You know?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I'll say like this. My life is not like, when people look at me and they know what I've been through, they're like, dang, you're
don't
still
look
here.
like what you've been
I don't
through.
look like what I've
Yeah.
been through. I'm a college dropout. Most people are like, you're so smart, you're so this, you're so. I went to school. I graduated from high school with a full ride academic scholarship.
Nice.
Mathematics and computer science, that was where I was going. My stepmother, she didn't pick me up. Like, I didn't have a choice. She left me, abandoned me, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. Both of my parents died by the time I was 12. So I went back to my family because she had kept us away from the family. But I moved to Vegas to be with my brother, one of my brothers, and I had to leave school to do that. And so I worked my way up from making like my first job, I made like $5.15 an hour. When I became disabled in 2018, I was working in corporate America, in IT, in a degree position without a degree. And they knew in my interview that I did not have the degree because I
But you
was
had
upfront
skill.
with it. I did because I took the time to learn everything. The way I absorb, I want to learn. I want to know. I
Yeah.
want to do better. So when people was like, "Oh, I can't do that," I'm like, stop making excuses for yourself because it doesn't matter what your situation looks like. You have the ability to change it anytime that you want to if you apply yourself and you make. Yeah, you
When you're
have to.
ready.
No one can force you to do it.
Right.
But I always say like people we don't empower each other. I said if I ever made it, that I would go back and I would encourage somebody because if it could happen for me, it could happen for anybody.
I
Because
think that we do empower each other. I just think that it depends on where you are in life to where you know how to accept it or not.
That's true.
Something sounds great, like, oh, you're gonna be wonderful, you're gonna do great. And you take it in like, okay, cool, somebody said it. It reached you, but did it affect you really?
let me pose it to you a different way. When I say empower, I don't mean just say you're gonna do great. I don't mean just say, okay, what is it you're trying to accomplish? So like for me, right? I did business consulting. Once when I became disabled, I had a friend, he came to me and he said, hey, can you help me with this? Blah, 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 blah. You have the time, I have the money. Can we make it happen?
Okay.
And so I was like, sure, right? He said, I always knew you were smart, but I never knew that things could go like this. And I'm so glad that you were able to come and help me or whatnot. We never discussed money. We never discussed a contract. We never discussed anything. I showed up. I did what I had to do because I had the knowledge and he asked for the help.
Right.
He took care of me. He did. I'm going to give him that. But we didn't go in with any expectations other than just pouring into somebody that had a vision. I'm not saying that you should just give your time, your talent, everything for free all the time. But if you know what you possess can benefit somebody else and you could be a help to one another,
Help.
why wouldn't we help?
That
Because it
part.
takes nothing to help. So when I say empower, if someone comes to you and they're like, hey, Brooke, I got this idea to do X, Y, Z. And you're like, well, I know how to do that. I can show you. It's not my thing. It's not what I'm passionate about, but I'm skilled. Let me help you. Let me give you some knowledge or let me point you in the right direction.
That part.
We don't do that enough.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because a lot of the time it's like, okay, scrolling social media, what do you see? People have all these things. You want to pay $5,000. It is not even affordable. It's not like I
Yeah.
understand that you probably spend the time researching, but the average person don't have $5K to dish out on your knowledge. I understand you're going to get paid for your knowledge, but make it affordable. Don't capitalize on other people to keep them down.
Let's help
Off
each
of them.
other.
Let's help.
Because what we are going through is serious. So
Yeah.
for sure.
Especially with the way the economy is, man. How would we keep each other down if we can build? Because there's so many people, not just in the United States, but across the world, that there's enough clients and everybody's a customer, right? Everybody, we here at the coffee shop, we're buying coffee. We're a customer to the coffee shop.
And their customers too.
But then they probably have businesses, so we could be customers to them.
That part.
But we're missing out on the opportunity to really just support and create. When I was a little kid, I remember we had the Cool Cup lady. Y'all had a Cool Cup lady?
We had a Cool Cup lady too.
Everybody went to the Cool Cup lady.
I never could afford the Cool Cup lady. It was only 25 cents.
Wow.
That part.
And it ain't like that no more.
Now I could afford a Cool Cup. Cool Cup lady.
But why you don't want a Cool Cup from the Cool Cup lady now?
Because during that time, it meant something. It was like, I didn't get it a lot. I couldn't have access to it. And then, of course, my family, my grandmother, I was raised by my grandmother. $25? No. She would give me $25, but not for no Cool Cup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, of course, everybody, quarter, Cool Cup. And I'm just like,
value.
you have a quarter?
Yeah.
Do you have a quarter?
Value, right?
Yeah.
It was valuable to you because it's something that
I really
you could
wanted
have.
because everybody else had a Cool Cup, and I thought the Cool Cup was really good.
But you couldn't get it.
I can't get a cool cup.
So now that you have access to get it, it's
I don't
not
want
the
a cool
same.
cup. Yeah, because now it's like I have Italian ice.
I think that.
But now, what it will be if my daughter comes to me and say, "Mom, do you have a quarter?" Will be 50 cents now. Do you have 50 cents for a cool cup? Yeah. Let me go ahead and get my purse.
Because you want her to have the experience that you didn't have.
Absolutely. You get that cool cup, girl. Ain't nobody, you ain't gonna be looking at people like, oh, I wish I had a cool cup.
Do you think that you're gonna do things differently with her?
I have already started doing things differently.
Like, what would you say is the one thing, like, from your childhood that you're like, I'm absolutely not gonna do this with my child?
I'm never minimizing her emotions and I'm letting her speak up. I grew up with a strong woman. She was a strong woman, but when it came down to love and we didn't
Nurturing
have
side?
that. Yeah, she didn't have that. She was very strong. So with my daughter, I love you.
Yes.
We hug, give me kisses, sleep in my bed, express yourself, no matter how ugly it may be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're human. Before you're my daughter, you're human. You're
Yeah.
God's child. I have to take care of you. But you're God's child. And you're gonna live your life regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I want her to express herself because I couldn't do
I'm practicing that too. I didn't have the ability to express myself.
I did it. But it's hard. Because then it's kind of like when you give them the opportunity, you have to brace yourself and be strong enough to
For
hear.
what?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And my daughter, she's just as blunt as I am.
Hey, you got to take it because you gave her the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, not just take it, but take it in
And
really be like
accordingly.
respond accordingly. Like, what's the question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me answer the question.
Yeah.
But I think it's beautiful to see her do that. So I'm okay.
I'm like that with my daughter too. Same, like I told you, they're the same age. My daughter is very vocal. I've taught her to question everything, even me. People like when they first saw she was little and she was asking like, "Why, mom?" And I'm like, think about when you were a kid. You wanted to know why. You couldn't ask why. If my daughter wants to know why, I'm gonna tell her why. Because at the end of the day, if I'm able to explain to her something, she doesn't have to wonder. And
That
that
part.
has changed how she responds. Like last year, her teacher was sending me like, they call brag tags. And so she was getting brag tags every couple of weeks and it was like, she is such a leader. She saw a kid, he had been struggling with reading in a class, and she looked at him and she said, "It's okay, whatever his name was, you can do this." And then when he did it, she goes, "I knew you could do it." But that is how I treat her. I never diminish her value. I never bring her down. I promise you, if somebody were to ever ask my daughter if her mommy talks to her and has conversation, we talk. When we're
Absolutely.
talking, my daughter has told me she wants to do a coffee and conversation.
And she should.
And I told her we're going to do a kids version, but it's because we have these conversations. Every time she ages, it's her birthday, we sit down and say, "Hey, what did you learn in the last year of your life? What did you like about the last year?" I want her to explore all her emotions. I
Yeah.
don't want to just pretend like...
You can't, because it's important, because nobody, and this is what should be taught. When you get a certain age and you start dealing with a lot of things, different times, different things, you go through mental health,
Yep.
and you may think you're the strongest person, like me. It's like, there's no worries, I'm okay,
Yeah.
I'm not stressed. And then, like, it was like, okay, I'm really dealing with self-worth. I'm dealing with, am I good enough? Do I fit? Like, why am I asking these questions? Am I
That's
happy?
real.
So a lot of adults have like mental health issues. And I think that with you raising your kid on how to understand her emotions, she grows up and she can understand it better.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Then somebody like, don't talk about it. Then you get older and you're like, wow, I
know what
messed
all
up.
this. I suffer from anxiety for like my parents dying early. I suffer from anxiety for a lot of my life. I didn't know it until I started thinking I was gonna die early because my
Yeah.
parents died early, and then I had my issues with my health, and so it spiraled me into such a state of anxiety that I was afraid to do anything. I ended up taking anxiety meds for like 4 years.
Did it
until I
work?
So I was I'm not a big medicine person, period. But for the 4 years that I was on it, it helped so much. It helped me to regulate that feeling of imminent death. Like,
Yeah.
because keep in mind, my heart's My heart stopped for 7 seconds. Thankfully, I had a heart monitor that was implanted that caught it because they said that if they wouldn't have caught it, I wouldn't have made it through the weekend. So, big ups to the man upstairs. He kept me, and I was thankful for that. I got diagnosed with a precursor to bone cancer. I got diagnosed with intracranial hypertension, and I got diagnosed with SVTs all at the same time. I was walking with a cane. I had a lot of neurological deficits. The conversation that I'm having with you now, it would have probably been more like I would forget words or I would say the wrong word. And I was still managing to try to show up to work every day. So I end up passing out, hitting my head on the floor. I end up in the hospital. I was in and out of the hospital. And I started looking at life a lot differently after that. And so I think knowing that all those things were happening at the same time kind of shifted my perspective of life in general and how I respond to things. Because whenever people go through a certain level of trauma in their childhood,
Yeah.
and then they're taking that into adulthood and it's unresolved, it threw me into a state. I was like, am I gonna die? Like, oh my God, my heart is beating fast. Oh my, like I would be laying on the couch and my heart rate would be 130, 140 beats per minute just laying still. I didn't know if I was gonna live. Like the doctors didn't know what was going on at first.
And you didn't know how to control it.
I self-referred to a psychologist and a psychiatrist because I was self-aware enough to know that what I was feeling was not normal. I did cognitive behavioral therapy, and it really helped me to learn to regulate. I got diagnosed with PTSD from the abuse that I experienced from my stepmother, the physical, mental, and verbal abuse. And I ended up taking the psychiatrist gave me the anxiety meds, and they both reassured me that with all the trauma that I had experienced, the fact that I was self-aware was much further ahead than most
Absolutely.
people coming in. And so I stayed on the same prescription for 4 years, and I felt I was strong enough. I weaned off, and I've never taken another one after that.
Amen.
But it worked for the time that I needed it. Some things are for a season, you know. I think we're not transparent enough with mental health.
We're not, because we're ashamed of how people may perceive us.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
Because you may.
Yeah.
You know, people do. You know, they offer, say, okay, I'm so sorry
Yeah.
that you're going through that. But let a real situation happen and you are dealing with that. They don't give you that respect.
Yeah.
It's okay when you could tell someone.
Yeah.
But when you go through that experience with them,
I think
It's a
that
little
it's hard
different.
for me because going through what I've been through, I know for me, like when I look at other people, I automatically feel a level of empathy where I can be like, you know what? They shouldn't have to go through that alone. And you don't know. I always say this, the way that I think about it is you don't know what somebody's day's been like. You don't know if they're on the ledge. You don't know if your little rude snide comment could be the thing that pushes them over. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm not responsible for that. That's on them. But what if you were in the situation? What sometimes you have to
Give
put yourself in the other person's shoes because how you respond to a person should be how you would expect a person to respond to you no matter what.
absolutely. Or it could go exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And then that's a learning experience.
That's the truth. It's the truth if I've never heard it before because I think every situation we're in is an opportunity to grow. Most people
Just
don't
like the
look at it like that.
conversation we just had. I've learned something. So sometimes you have to bump your head. Sometimes you have to say something ignorant or just what you think. So somebody can educate you
Yeah,
or show you a different perspective.
So I had a friend of mine who came to me one day and they told me something I absolutely disagreed with.
Okay.
And so when she told me what she felt in that moment, I understood why she was feeling that way. I did not agree with the way she felt.
Absolutely.
So I looked at her just like I'm talking to you and I said, I understand how you're feeling right now. It's a very valid feeling. I said, but it's not right. And that's not truly how you feel. You feel like that because you're in the moment and you're experiencing the situation. And because you're in the moment and experiencing the situation and it hurts, you're going to feel the way you feel. But I promise you, you're going to look back and you're going to feel a certain way that you said what you said. I said, and that's going to be okay. I need you to go and breathe for a minute. I'm going to hold this situation down. Got your kids. We gonna make sure they good. Go take a moment to yourself and come back. And I never forget, she came back to me and she said, no one had ever looked at me before and allowed me to feel what I was feeling and still disagreed. And it felt good because
Yes.
you accepted what I was saying, even though you didn't agree. You still told me I was wrong, but you gave me a
You
safe
held
place to
space.
say it. And I'm a big believer in that. You have to create safe environments for people to
Absolutely.
feel comfortable in. And if you don't do that,
Then they don't. They don't feel comfortable, or you can't get mad at them for, okay, well, if you felt this way, why
why
didn't you
you say,
say, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it plays a lot of parts. But we're going to go on and on. We're going to go. This time.
All right, you want me to pick one?
Absolutely.
All
It's your
right.
turn. I picked mine.
Oh Lord, this is nerve-wracking. You find a wallet with $500 cash in the ID. You return the wallet. Is returning the cash a part of doing the right thing, or is keeping it fair game because nobody knows it was there?
Give it back. I don't play that. How I saw this wallet is how you gonna
Can you
get
get it
this
back?
wallet.
I
That's
agree with
that's a simple. What about you?
I'm a big believer. I'm not taking nothing that don't belong to me because I
That
wouldn't want
part.
somebody doing that to me. Right, because it didn't have
Thank
no
you,
way to get
Jesus.
it back.
Hello. If keeping the peace requires you to stay quiet,
Uh-huh.
is it actually peace?
Ooh, how you feel reading that one?
This is deep because this is something that I struggle with when it comes down to family members, friends, or anything. I don't keep the peace because I'm gonna say it. And for example, I have a beautiful grandmother, and we're very different, but we're the same. But we have different ways of thinking and maneuvering and handling each other. And a lot of times, to keep the peace, you have to be quiet, no matter what energy this person is in. But the energy doesn't make you feel good. At the end of the day, you leave out feeling horrible.
So it's not at peace for
It's
you.
not at peace for me, but it's at peace for that person. So for this question, no, I'm always not keeping the peace. Just DTB, disturbing the peace.
I think that actually speaking up creates peace because one, it gives a space for them to respond and it gives a space for you to not hold it in.
If they're ready.
Some people aren't ready to receive, but it still has created a peace for you to let it out.
Yes, but for me to have full peace, I would like a conversation where I speak my mind,
And you feel
and
heard.
then you were emotionally prepared to answer me back with that, and we could find resolution. Peace to me doesn't. If I speak up and it's not accepted, or you run from me, or you retaliate, or you say something, that's not peace for me. I don't feel at peace. Even if I spoke up, now I feel worse. Because now I feel like, shouldn't I have? But like, no.
You can't
No,
stifle
I
your
never.
voice. You can't stifle your voice. You have to be able to express yourself because holding it on is going to create less of a space of peace because I feel like this. A person can't correct what they're unaware of. And so when you speak up, it gives them an opportunity to correct it. Now, whether they correct it or not, that's on them, but you've done your part.
Absolutely. I always say that, but they have to be emotionally prepared to be able to, and sometimes emotionally prepared to have a conversation before they even fix a problem, just to conversate.
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to go that deep. They're only surface level, and that's okay. But
I think some people, I'm a
I'm
very
not
big
staying
believer in
quiet.
speaking up.
And if
Because
I don't say it,
I want to be heard because I'm gonna allow you a space to be heard. I don't care if it's, excuse me, friendships, relationships, business. My old boss used to tell me, he said, squeaky wheel gets the grease. Cause like, if a wheel not squeaking, nobody's greasing it, right? But when you speak up, you're heard. And in order to have changes happen, you have to speak
you
up.
have to speak up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to be an advocate. So I totally agree with that. But no, my family, they just, oh my God, please be quiet. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. It's the question. I'm telling you, it's the question.
And not the question.
It gotta be, because you said relationship and happy in the same sentence.
I'm fighting that. You're in a happy relationship and unexpectedly run into the person you once believed was the love of your life. They tell you they made a mistake by letting you go and want another chance. What do you do?
Thank you for feeling that way. But I don't know. I'm very loyal. And that's the problem that I tell people that I've been with, my exes.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm crazy over you right now, I'm delusional, and you're like doing wrong, you still have time to get it right,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm still here.
Yeah.
But after that, and then I decide to take time to heal, and then I take time to get into another healthy relationship.
Yep.
Healthy relationship,
Yep.
honey.
I'm
All you
not
can get is
going
a
back.
smile. Thank you.
Not going back.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not sneak texting. I'm not giving you the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We are not talking about what could have happened. Like,
Big believer in that.
we've healed. It's done.
You
I'm
may have
happy.
healed. They may not have always
That's
healed.
not
But
my
if
problem.
you're happy, you gotta let that
But
go.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I only care for you when I'm in it.
Once
Once
gone,
I'm out of it,
that's it.
but that whole time I was in it, you still decide to lie. You still decide to do whatever you wanted to do. I was
Yeah.
still crazy over you, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So
Felt
I'm
that.
sorry that you have that feeling from me now, but
It's
no.
gone. Yeah, and then I don't understand why somebody would want to leave something that's healthy and happy to go back to something you know.
Because my favorite movie is Love Jones.
I haven't seen that in ages.
I just watched it yesterday. Favorite movie, Love Jones, hands down. Perfect example.
Yeah.
You know, she's having a good time with Darius.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Why would she go back
Yeah.
to? But it's to finish it off. You're not healed yet. You want to see. So for the other person, it's messed up. How could you do this? You're happy. You know what I'm saying? But there's unfinished business. In order for you to be free. Okay. I think this goes with the first question.
Okay.
Your friend asks, do you think I'm the problem in my relationship? You genuinely believe they are? How honest would you be?
Okay, I can answer this one. And my friend will tell you, I'm that friend. If I'm a big believer in patterns, right? So in life, I believe sometimes we follow patterns, and like I had a friend, and I was like, hey, this is always happening when you get into a relationship, and I think that I know why. And I started explaining to her. She said, you know what, you may be right, because at the end of the day, I'm not a friend if I don't tell you what I see.
Right.
And I saw a pattern in those, and it was like relationship after relationship was going the same way. And I was able to tell her that, like, that's a very real life scenario for me. I had to speak up, because if I don't say anything and point it out, she may not see it for herself. And she
Yeah.
didn't in the moment until she sat and thought about it.
I'm just blunt. What that means when I say that is, of course, I'm going to, if I see a pattern, because I'm very like observant and I'm not judgy or picky, but if you ask me a question, I'll answer it. But I'm not going to just tell you just off GP. But yeah, I would definitely tell you that you are
The problem. Yeah.
I mean, of course, you may not have the best contenders, but I don't
Yeah.
think you should be collecting victims.
In my friend's situation, I think it was more so of like not have being healed from her first relationship, and she wanted to be loved so bad that she was like going above and beyond what those people deserve, giving this and giving that and getting nothing in return, and they're walking all over her.
Self-worth.
And yeah, and I told her, it's like, you don't deserve that. I didn't say, oh, you're the problem. Like, hey, these patterns are repeating itself. It's the decisions that you're making to show up for these people in the ways they don't deserve.
No, I think that's the lesson.
Yeah.
I struggle through the same thing. So, but I think it's the lesson, because I'm like, God, why do you keep putting these people in my life?
Yeah.
Like, some people
Yeah.
think like, hey, I am horrible. I'm going to be horrible to you. I'm going to treat you really good in the beginning. And then at the end of it, I'm kind of going to get distant.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie a little bit, manipulate you a little bit. But it's cool because your feelings are going to already be into me. So
I can treat you
I
however
think
I
I
want.
would treat you however you want to, and it's going to be okay. Nobody's coming to nobody like that.
Yeah.
So, of course, when you're meeting somebody, you're thinking everything is fine. Now it's the red flags that they show us that we don't.
Do you feel like you ignore those red? Well,
I'm talking about the flags be like this. Flags be like, hey, girl, no. And I'm like, no, that's okay. They're so cute. I love her locks.
red flag, red flag.
Horrible
Yeah.
red flags. But it's my learning experience.
Yeah.
Yes, Brooke, unfortunately, you have to go through this. This is who you want. I don't want you to want this person.
I had my own. I was the problem. I was an enabler. I would I definitely was an enabler. I think like, so for me, the lady that's my mom that has adopted me and taken me in, she said, you have a type. I said, I don't have a type. She said, yeah, you do. I said, what's my type? She said, you're a fixer. You like people that, she said,
That are
you
broken.
fix them. And I started looking back on my life, and I would come into situations with people. And so I was very intentional on making sure, like, I was like, the next relationship I get in, I'm not going to be with someone that's completely
That he
broken, that needs fixing, because I don't want that. I don't need anybody that's perfect, but I want someone that's already on their healing journey,
Right.
that's already taking care of themselves. So I don't feel like I have to come in and
do a
save
lot,
them.
yeah.
And, you know,
Then I lose interest. You weren't aware.
I was very unaware. So yeah, it happened. You can go back. You can go back and change one decision from your past, but you don't get to know what else in your current life will change because of it. Are you risking it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You taking a risk?
I'm green light, go. Let's do it. Press the button. Even if that's reincarnation from me, press the button. I am ready. Let's do it.
Is it that bad? Can I throw a monkey wrench into this
Go
question?
ahead.
What if you could press the fast forward button and you could just see a glimpse of your future, maybe 10 seconds, and in that 10 seconds you saw your life was rainbows and sunshine, would you still make the same decision?
No, because I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know my today. And in my today, what happened in the past could have fixed the today part. But if I were to look in the future and I see, okay, well, there's a come up, or there's something, or this is okay, cool. Of course, I would still feel like I'm not gonna be fake.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna still, the answers, I would still want to change that. But if it had something to do with how the future works, then no, I wouldn't.
Do you
But I don't really think it would. I really think that in this certain situation, I would have been better.
Yeah.
Not like
you
a
feeling
mental,
real strong. Yeah.
but not just that. There's different compartments of
Yeah.
it. There's things to where it affects you financially. It affects you mentally. It affects you physically, stuff like that. I've been messed up physically. I've lost weight, gained weight. You know, I've been through it mental. Oh my God, I want to die.
Yeah.
But this one, financially, that could have been easily fixed.
Yeah.
But if I would have made choices differently from that, yes.
Do you
this would
think
be
you could
so
fix
much
where
better.
you are now? Like, do you like look at that versus?
I think
what
it
you
can be fixed. I think it's gonna take a while, but it definitely can be fixed. It has already started.
Oh, see?
It has already started, but
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, no.
I still.
I could tell you off camera.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I still don't think like I would change. It's hard for me because let me tell you how my mind wanders. I'd be like, dang, well, what if I change this and this happens? Or what if I change?
I'm okay.
So,
I'm not a gambler, but I'll take a gamble.
So for me, my whole life has went a certain way. It's been like this. It's been like it's been like a roller coaster for real. From the time I was little, it's been up and down. My mom died at 2. My dad died at 12. Got adopted by his wife. She left me at 18. Like, it's just been, I've been on my own figuring out. But the one thing is that all led me to fall into a position where I ended up with my ex-wife, and she carried my daughter. I have my daughter with me full time, and she sees her, we co-parent or whatnot. But me changing one moment of my life may take that away from me. I would never want to change it because my daughter has been one of the biggest blessings of my life. And I always think about that, and I'm like, man, she really. So when I was sick, we found out, like when I found out I was not going to be able to return to work and I was going to be disabled, we found out we had conceived her at the exact same time. And that's when my view shifted, because I was like, I was in managing teams in IT. I was making good money because we thought I was going back to work.
Yeah.
I went into panic mode, but it's been the biggest blessing because she never went to daycare. She didn't have to. I was home with her. She has that one-on-one, like,
Look at God.
so God worked. Even the things that seem like they're unfortunate can sometimes have that blessing in it, that silver
Blessing in
lining in it.
disguise. Absolutely.
Yeah, so like that's what makes me say that. Not that I wouldn't have wanted things to be different in my life. It's just that if it means changing that, I would never.
Never do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That remind me of a Twilight episode.
I haven't seen. I've seen one movie, I think.
Twilight shows. So it's a series.
Oh, like the wolf people.
No, that.
Okay.
Oh wow, wow. I would never do that to you. No, I actually mean Twilight Zone.
Oh, Twilight Zone. Okay,
So
okay,
yeah, the old school
Doo-doo.
shows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That,
Wow.
I love those shows. It reminds me of something like that.
Wow.
But that part, I erased that whole chapter away. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay.
You gotta read the question. She said, absolutely.
Can you still love someone and still know they're not good for you?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But the question is, do people realize that they're like a lot of people don't think that's the case. Oh, love. Love ain't gonna save you from that situation if that situation is no good.
Absolutely.
I
That's
think
the
people
same
forget
thing.
that.
Like I have a beautiful ex-girlfriend. She is a Virgo. No names. But perfect. Like, why don't this work? Why can't this work? But she's not ready. And she has a lot of growing to do, and that's okay.
Lord have mercy. You get undeniable proof that something you've believed about yourself your entire life isn't true. Would you rather know, or would you keep the belief that you had your whole life?
No, I don't want to be delusional. And then also, I love I love a challenge. So something like that, I'll be excited for. Like, I wish some man walked up and be like, I'm your papa. And I'm like, oh, I never knew my papa.
I had that happen to me.
For real?
Not Papa though, my dad.
See, well, dad, papa.
Yeah.
You know.
I found out my dad wasn't my dad, but I didn't find out till I was 30 something.
I don't mind. That's the thing, though. I don't mind. It don't affect. It's like, darn, I would have loved to know that you existed back then. I knew something,
Yeah.
but okay, cool. Let's. What are we doing now?
Yeah.
I love you.
So it's funny because I actually knew the guy that was really my dad. I didn't know that he was my dad, but my dad, that man, can't nobody ever take that away from him. He passed when I was 12, but that was my dad. He showed up for me because my mom died when I was 2. I didn't find out till I was 30 something that that man was not my daddy. Nobody could. I don't think blood could have made us stronger. Like that was my dad. He was a single dad. And he made sure I had everything that I needed, plus something. I never knew. I never had an inkling, never had a feeling that he wasn't. But I was mad when I found out because I have been giving the wrong medical history my entire life, knowing, and it's like, if you know that I've been struggling with my health, why wouldn't anybody tell me this? I found out from 23andMe doing the ancestry. That's how I found out. And I'm like, y'all knew and didn't tell me. That for me, I wasn't mad because my dad, my blood don't make us any different. But giving the wrong medical history,
Yeah,
that changes
important.
a lot. That's
Yeah.
important. So yeah, I needed to know. I wanted to know. And I think it's important that people know something that's gonna affect them, you know?
No, really. I don't think I would be mad. I would just like, oh, that's why. I knew it.
Something fell off.
Something fell off.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. All right.
Someone saves your life. Years later, they ask you for a favor that goes completely against your values. Do you owe them?
Ooh.
Do you want to answer that? Or you want
I'll let you answer it.
So I would say no, I don't owe anybody, especially if it goes against my values and then somebody could say, well, what saving you went against my values. But we all have choices. You know what I'm saying? So yes, thank you. But this kind of goes against my values, so I don't know about that. But if I feel like I could get away with it, depending on what it is, I'll do it for you. Or I'll come through in a different way.
I do it in a different way because it goes against my value. I'm very intentional in the things that I stand for. I've become intentional in keeping commitment to what my values are. And I'm not deviating for that for nobody for any reason. Now, if it came down to it, I'm gonna say, look, that goes against what I believe in, but I got you on anything else.
So it depends. Like, it just depends. Like, okay, I'm not trying to help nobody get out of jail or rob no bank or rob no
Yeah.
Walmart. But what I mean by it just depends is if you just need somebody in the car, just pull up, so screw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If we don't
yeah,
get
yeah,
caught,
yeah.
you got to plan through, then I'll definitely do it.
So I'll say this: if it compromises my integrity, I can't. Like, and the reason why I say that is because I hold myself to a high standard, and a lot of my stuff goes back to who I am and my child. Like, I tell people all the time, the decisions that I made, you can't ask me certain things anymore because those decisions I made was prior to me having a child. Make different
True.
decisions because everything I do right now,
It's for your baby.
it affects her too. Any decision I
does.
make, every decision I make has a direct effect on her because we're responsible for our children, right?
That part.
And they're not of age to take care of themselves. I think it's so hard and structured for me because I didn't have my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want her to have
Be
that
without you,
experience.
yeah.
I don't want her to be without me or her other mom. But I can control, for
What
the
you
most
do,
part, what
yeah.
I do, the decisions that I make. That's the only thing I have control over when it comes to making sure she's good, is making sure that my decisions are sound enough. Like, even when I was dating my fiance, told her, I don't want you to meet my kid unless you're gonna be in her life. So until we know that, I don't want to introduce you to her because I don't want her to get attacked. Like, I'm so structured in those things that, like, and I'm a pretty easy person. I'm like, I just go with the flow for the most part. But when it comes down to something that's
Certain
gonna, it's just a hard no.
Yeah.
Like, don't, that people know, don't even, when it comes to that child, don't like,
For sure. I wish I was that mature to be like that because I'm aware that I have a daughter, of course. And that's the beauty of my daughter because she understands me.
yeah,
And she
absolutely.
understands herself and what she would do.
Yeah.
So if I were to do something in the world, she would be like, I see it. Before you call me, make sure everything is cool. Feels cool. I pull up on you, burn out.
Which, you know what they always
Depending
say?
on what it is.
How the old saying goes, like, one of you can keep us, wait, two of you can have a secret, but it only can be kept if one of you are dead.
But see, I don't have any secrets or anything. I'm very upfront because I feel like once you start having secrets, people will have things to use against you. It doesn't matter if you're the one, unless you're doing something by yourself,
Right,
then that's a secret.
right.
If you're doing something with other people, it's no longer a secret.
Because fair
Because
game.
somebody could go to church and be like, you know what, I just want to change my life. I need to tell them that we robbed this bank, or I need to tell them that we did kill, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have any secrets. And I tell
think-
my daughter everything.
Yeah.
So she knows who I am.
Damn,
She knows
yeah.
who she's dealing with at the end of the day. So
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't hold anything for my child, I think. And, like, I know how she is. Like she said, like, I make her feel safe and she's comfortable to talk to me. And she's not like that with everybody.
she's a Cancer.
And so I just want to make sure that if it's within my and I know everybody don't think the same. When I say my thinking is probably, I get told a lot.
Unorthodox.
It's like, I don't fit perfectly into any square.
And I don't try to.
I heard you say earlier, like, when you're like, oh, sometimes I wonder, do I fit or am I weird? Like, I don't give a care. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't fit, I just don't fit. I will find a space off to myself and be
And
good.
good. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
I don't need a party. I don't need anybody to validate who I am.
So
yeah.
since it's your birthday, this is the last question. I don't know what this one is. I forgot
Okay.
all of them, but it's all you.
Okay, perfect. When someone says that's just who I am, is that self-acceptance or an excuse not to grow?
Ooh.
I think it's ignorance for that person. So yeah, I can still give them grace. And what I mean by that is if anybody says that's just who I am, that means that they're in the energy, they're comfortable in the energy that they're in now. And maybe they're not accepting to growth at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this is who I am. I'm a cursor. Or I don't like gays. Or I don't like, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything. That's just who you are. Now, self-acceptance or making an excuse not to grow. I
think
wouldn't,
some
I don't
peop-
know.
I think some people do use it as an excuse. Because all right, let's say you're in a situation and you be like, I really don't like when you talk to me like that. Well, you know who I am. That's just who I am. You either deal with it or hit the highway.
Great, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you need to. My grandmother's the same way. They say she's older. Oh, you call me. I don't call you. You call your grandmother. You call your family. You know what I'm saying? I raised you. I'm the oldest.
And I disagree with that
I
belief.
disagree with it
Yeah.
overall. You know what I'm saying? Because I am living, and just how you lived at my big age, I'm still growing. You know what you went through.
Well, I
So
believe
call
that the
me.
telephone works two ways,
Call
right? We check
me.
in with each other.
Absolutely.
I believe that all relationships, I don't care if it's family, friends, like
Intentional.
love, it should be reciprocal. Reciprocity is big for me. If I'm doing it for you, and I'm not saying it has to be the exact same thing, but it's a two-way street is what
That
I'm
part.
getting at.
It's a
And if it-
relationship.
relational. And
Right.
if it's not, then and I think we miss out on the opportunity. People get stuck in their ways, and I feel like my daughter knows, and I've always told her this: I'm learning from you, and you're learning from me. We never get too old to learn.
You're
And
gonna
if
learn
you
till
ever
you
say,
die.
I do not believe that, because I believe that anybody has the ability to grow. Anybody has the ability to change their mind, change their attitude, and change their way of doing things if they want to.
They got to be ready.
But if they're not ready, it's not gonna happen.
And it's okay. And I don't think that we should look down at anybody for
No,
that,
not at all.
because there's some things that we may not be ready. So if we still have that, then we give that person space. But that don't mean that you need to stay to change. Don't be mean to that person. Don't talk about them behind their back. Give them space, respect, and just keep it moving.
When I first met my fiance, one of our first conversations, like I told her something and she didn't like it and she got a little snappy with me, and I told her, like, you need to learn how to communicate. I know she didn't like the way I said it to her either, but it was very real. I didn't cuss her out. I didn't say anything disrespectful. I said, you need to learn how to communicate.
What does that look
But,
like?
well, I didn't go that far because I didn't have the opportunity. Because,
But then again,
but I
insult
deserved
towards an
it
insult.
because she felt insulted. Not,
Right.
I'm not gonna say I deserved it. I understood it.
That part.
But when we came back and talked to her about it, and I told her, it's like, the reason why I said that was because this was just a simple conversation that we could have had, because at some point there was a miscommunication on both of our parts. And she understood that, like, when I came back and said that. But in the process, over these last couple of years that we've been together, it's been an opportunity for growth, because we were two people who were ready to understand and like to talk through things. But I could have approached the situation differently, because I led with, you need to learn how to communicate, because it sounds like I'm telling you what to do.
Yeah,
But I
very
wasn't trying to
defensive.
say, so it put her, what I was getting at wasn't received well.
Right. But you didn't
Because
receive how she said something to you
Yeah, because
to make you even say she don't know how to communicate.
Yeah, because I don't think it was any one person's fault.
It's nobody's fault.
It was just a
learning.
situation that was a learning experience. And most people could have walked away from that situation and never spoke again, because it was like
Yeah.
within a couple days of meeting or whatever. But we both came back and talked it out. But a person has to be willing and ready to accept their fault in the situation. Because a lot of times we point the finger, but we never look within self to see what we could have done differently to get a different response.
That is true. I'm actually struggling with that with a friend, and she wants to date. She feels she wants to date. She's 41. She's a little bit older than I am, but I just been through so much to where I could kind of like, I could see the things that you're doing, and I could see your intentions without you saying your intentions. And the biggest thing I tell her is that you don't know how to communicate, and you handle women in a very toxic masculinity. Masculinity. You know what I'm saying? So we would never be. We could be friends, but we would never be. And today, for example, she tells me, "Hey, I don't have my car. I can't get out much." But she's been getting out. She's been doing things. So I've been spoken with her. So I just tell her, "Hey, whenever you can you bring me some of my stuff?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of her looking at that and answering, she got offended by it, because she felt like, why are you asking me about your things and you know I don't have my car? But when she told me she didn't have her car, that was like some time ago. now time has happened and you have shared with me that you have been out doing other things. So I'm just gonna only assume that maybe you have your vehicle, but even if you do not, whenever you were able to bring me my things,
Can you please do it?
that's all I came. But she took it as is, oh, you know I don't have my car, blah, blah,
You
blah, blah,
shouldn't,
blah.
yeah.
You should know already. I've always told her that if there's a misunderstanding and you've done something to make somebody feel away, because I didn't deserve to get cursed out. I'm like,
Right.
but you apologize.
Yeah.
Once you realize what the other person is thinking or their intentions, and I come to you and I, apologize. I'm sorry that I, asked you in that way,
Yeah.
if that affected you.
Right.
But yeah, certain situations like that, it's you cut off.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
can
saying? Because
understand
that
that,
could be
yeah.
a continuation of
Yeah.
misunderstanding someone. It's different from you and your lovely wife.
I think it's like some people want to communicate. Like I would believe that. How do you say? Some people will want better. I feel like any relationship you get in, you're bound to have some kind of disagreement because, like, you gotta think, like, if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with someone, you just gotta pick someone that if you guys are put in an uncomfortable situation, that you'll be able to work through it. Because it's unrealistic to think that if, let's say, you have 70 years left of your life when you get with this person, in 70 years, y'all not gonna have disagreements.
Always.
So you have to find someone that's able to match your energy
That part.
when it comes to working through things because it takes two to get through anything.
Takes two to tango.
Yeah. So if you can't do that, then it's just not going to work.
It's not gonna work.
But I also think that we leave too fast to see if it could work.
Nah, my issue was people show red flags and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
No,
I understand
now
that from
my
your perspective.
energy. Oh no. Because if you can't listen here, and then also it's how you respond too.
Yes, absolutely.
So, like you and your wife, y'all talked it out and you got through it. If I'm telling you something and you're still standing on your point, then okay, we're not getting nowhere.
What if you could agree to disagree?
I would love to agree to disagree. But the person, in order for me to do that, I have to feel safe. And the fact that you let me
Have an opinion.
have
and
an
feel
opinion
free to
and
be
you
your
respect,
own.
yeah,
and
and you
respect it.
respect it, and then you can understand it. Just like I could do the same thing for you, then we could agree to disagree and keep it
Yeah.
moving.
We gotta
But if you're not in
create
that
healthy
energy,
boundaries.
yeah, but some people are not in that. They're
Most
like,
people
well,
are.
this is what I did and this is what I meant and whoopity doo. And okay, that's great. You can beat me down with your point. You know what I'm saying? But I get it.
Sometimes it's hard because for me, I don't like people to tell me what I'm feeling if it's not what I'm feeling. Don't be like, you da 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 da. And so my fiance, she doesn't like that either. So what we've learned to do is hear each other, right? You have to hear what the person is saying. And when you hear what the person is saying and you're able to understand, I'm sorry that you felt that way. That's not necessarily what I meant. This is how I meant it.
Right.
But moving forward, we could do
Better.
X, Y, Z so that we don't have the same misunderstanding. But it's creating a safe environment for the person to explore their feelings and to also give you the opportunity to explain what you meant. Especially sometimes in text messages, things can be conveyed because
Yeah.
you don't hear tone, you don't hear inflection, you don't see facial expressions or hand gestures. You can read the message wrong.
You very much can.
Yeah,
But then again, you're reading the person wrong as well.
that's true.
Who's the person? Like your brain is the one who kind of decides certain
Yes.
things. So
And I also think it is affected by past experiences with the person and past experience
With other
outside
people.
yeah.
that part.
So, and sometimes you can misconstrue what a person is feeling based on what you've had a past experience. And so I think a lot of times we have to separate those, not use them at all, but separate. Like if you know this person to be kind, caring, loyal,
Right.
whatever, don't expect that you're going to get the same experience that
the
you get
last-
from the past. So that's just.
that part.
I'm so glad that you came today. Like, I'm so glad that we did this. I know
Yes.
the camera thing is a little nerve-wracking, but
It was okay. I was comfortable.
so what do
and
you feel like after doing the coffee and conversations? How was it for you?
It was pretty good. I loved it. Cool conversations. I love the topics. Yeah. I'm excited.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for
You're
coming.
so
Happy
welcome.
birthday.
Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
No, it's my hair.